I want to ask you, how far with your resolutions? If you have discarded the resolutions or you have not gone through the resolutions, this could be your chance. What's up, Creative Farm? Welcome to another episode on the podcast. This is the Creativation Podcast, and I am Caleb Akotoba for the host of the Creativation Podcast. If this is the first time you are coming across the Creativation Podcast, it's an audio and video podcast platform dedicated for creatives with the sole aim of inspiring and motivating creatives all across Ghana, Africa, and even the world at large, right? So if this is something that's of interest to you, please do well to like and then subscribe to the podcast, also subscribe to the channel so that if anything at all, you get notified. And if you are also hearing on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, I'm glad that you are listening to us. I really actually miss this thing. I miss using this microphone. And I miss being this whole setup. This is very easy to do. It's not an easy thing to be a deviant, See the last video like this, my hand was shaking and all that. For today, we are listening to one very important episode. I'll not want all these gems that we have, this gold that we have, right, to just go with. So then that's why I decided for us to do like a re-listen of the episodes that are on the podcast, the audio platforms, and have them on YouTube, so that if you are discovering the podcast for the first time on YouTube, you still get some visual experience still listening to the audio podcast. Today I'm going to be on screen. I'm not going to just leave the background to be there like that. We're all going to listen together. I'm going to maybe make a few reactions to. And if you are also listening to this on the audio podcast, it's not wrong to re-listen to something that you have already heard, because I went back to listen to the episode sometime like, wow, this is something that I needed, and then it actually propelled me to take some actions that I've taken in the past few days, even coming into this space. And yeah, making mention of this space, I want to say a very big thank you to Papa Kojo Anamoah Arthur for allowing me into his space to use his space for this episode and then the episodes that will follow, right? When the year is about to begin, most of us have New Year resolutions. Like, we have good resolutions. We're in April, right? And I want to ask you, how far with your resolution? If you have discarded the resolutions or you have not gone through the resolutions, this could be your chance. This is the second quarter of the year. If the first quarter was left to chance and then things didn't go well because probably some knowledge was not there, now that we're about to get some knowledge or re-listen to something that, was said in the beginning of the year, that was meant to carry you throughout the year. Listening to it in the beginning of the first quarter, it's not a big deal. So then today I want us to listen to an episode which is titled Achieving Your New Year Resolutions, right? So then come with me, let's all listen to it. I'm actually going to be taking some notes, so I think you should be taking notes too, right? We are at that time of the year, it's January, where so many of us have drawn many New Year resolutions. Maybe this year you want to be this. A lot of the times you're going to talk about your spiritual life, your fitness, getting more clients, and all of those things. But then the problem is that over the years, if you agree with me, for me, even I stopped writing New Year resolutions when it was New Year, because I didn't understand why I'll write it, then it won't come. Like, it will not come to pass, because by first week of January, second week of January, third week of January, plenty of people have been ignored it. And today we're going to look at the problem. Why does this happen? And see how we can come up with solutions, you understand? Because I don't think that New Year resolutions is bad. It's not something that anybody should stop doing. Now this year I have my resolutions. I have planned my year. I started planning the year last year, and I made a post on Instagram and on the socials. And see, planning your year is like too important, right? I would say that one of the reasons why this year has been a very great year for me is because the year was planned. Like, the year was very planned, though. It's not even a joke. Like, the year was very planned, and now everything's just going smooth. At least there's been difficulties, right? Even coming to do this thing today was not a joke. There's difficulties, but then I've compared to like other years that I didn't plan. This is better, right? So plan the year. I'm not going to talk against resolutions. Let's continue. You should have started planning your year in the latter days of 2023. You understand? So I believe so much in planning the year. So I don't think that New Year resolution is a problem, or having New Year resolutions is a problem. But the problem is that this good thing, which is New Year resolution, is not approached in the right way, and so we don't get to maximize what it stands for or what it's supposed to give us. You understand? So then in today's episode, we're going to look at certain things that make us not get it right with New Year resolutions. And then also, I hope and believe that by the time you are done listening to this episode, you would know what to do with regards to like New Year resolutions, and then be able to do it well, such that this will be the first time in a long time, probably, that if you have not been hitting your New Year resolutions, this will be the first time in a long time that you'll be able to hit it, because you would now get new light that would lead you on the path to making or getting your New Year resolutions. Are you ready for this one? Before we get into this episode, I want us to listen to a very important audio from one of my favorite public speakers. His name is Vusi Thembakwayo. He breaks one of the codes as to why we don't get our New Year resolutions. After listening to that, we'll also see other reasons why people don't hit their New Year resolutions. Let's listen to it right now.
Us here at the beginning of a new year write these things called New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions: number 1, make more money. Number 2, change my boyfriend. Number 3, get into shape. So what do? You go to the gym, you get a gym membership. You go to the local Nike store and you buy like all of your gym gear. You are motivated, you are inspired, you are going to the damn gym. You go to YouTube, you subscribe to all of the fitness channels. The people you're following on YouTube have been working on for a minimum of 5 years to look like that. So you have the incorrect understanding that after a month of working out, you're going to look like them. So what happens in the first month? You're excited, you go to gym every single month. Then life happens. Company doesn't make money, you don't make your targets, you fall a bit ill. Something happens, and all of a sudden you stop going to gym for a day becomes 2 becomes a week. Now all of a sudden you've had a gym membership for 3 months and you haven't been in that time. What did you miss? You thought motivation was the formula. Winners don't need motivation. Winners need discipline.
So Vusi in this audio points to us one very important thing that makes us not hit our New Year resolution, and that is because we think it is about motivation. And now, looking at it in a broader sense, I think the problem really is that we have limited it to being a tradition. So yeah, it is New Year, everybody is writing New Year resolutions, so I'm writing some. There's that thing, just like how it is in Christmas, where everybody says Merry Christmas, everybody's decorating their house. So it's like that thing where when it's New Year, everybody is writing things, there's quotes flying all over: New Year, new me, and all those things, hitting my goals, this, then people have by now subscribed for gym subscriptions. But then the problem is that we just don't have purpose to it. We feel like it's about motivation. See, before we even continue on the motivation bit, right, it is so true, because I'm sitting here thinking about my life 4 months down the line after saying these things, right? If let's say I was not showing up even today in April, and then I was listening to this, I'll be very sad. But then like listening to it, I'm like, it's true, because 4 months down the line, for every single Friday uploading content, it has never for once been about motivation. I don't know any time I've been motivated to do, because for the 4 months down the line, I've not had it easy. I started from my lecturer's office, then I had to like be doing outside content. Life actually did happen because school was coming through. At a point, even when I was on vacation, I had to do internship. I'm done with internship. I don't have a space, so I have to be doing outside content. There's not one time that has been motivation. It has just been like discipline, and then that thing of purpose. See, let's listen. Let me not distract you. Let's listen. A new beginning always comes with some sort of adrenaline. It's like when you go to a new school, you feel like you have sense. Like you are so calm, you are quiet, you present yourself well, you dress well. Until like some weeks, when probably you start meeting people who are like you, or start getting used to the system, or start getting comfortable, then you now go back to factory settings. Because it's always that thing of when you're in a new beginning, it comes with some sort of adrenaline and comes with some sort of like motivation, and that's the problem. And a lot of the times people just dwell on this thing, not doing other things, because aside the motivation, aside the adrenaline that comes with the new beginning, you're supposed to do other things, you understand? So then let's look at these other things fast. Aside motivation, now I also feel like a lot of the times we don't have purpose for the thing, and because we don't have purpose for the thing, we have very vague resolutions. For example, someone says that I want to go to the gym. Why do you want to go to the gym? Another person says, I'll do more passion projects this year. Why do you want to do more passion project? I'll get more clients this year. Why do you want to get more clients this year? Because I feel like where there's no purpose, you can easily give up. That's where the discipline thing comes in, So everything is actually intertwined because you don't even know why you're going there. It's like taking a walk. If I'm just taking a stroll, I can decide to walk anyhow, walk slow because there's no purpose to the walking. But if I'm going somewhere, how I walk matters. How fast I'm walking matters. Where I walk, if it's a place that I'm not supposed to get there dirty, I will not be walking in muddy and dusty areas. If there are pavements, I'll use the pavements rather than to use the floor. Because if there's purpose to it, you do it differently, and then there's always a thing to keep you going. You understand? There's no discipline when there's no purpose. It's the truth of the matter. There's no discipline when there's no purpose. So you have to make sure that you have purpose. So for example, myself, one of my resolutions this year is to create more passion projects. And then my reason for wanting to create more passion projects is because I want to have the kind of work that attracts my kind of clients, or my desired kind of clients. So then I need to create these passion projects so that they can see it. And when they ask me, oh, are you a videographer? I'm like, yeah. What shows? Then I send it to them. And then I'm doing passion projects because that's the time where I get to learn and practice and put some things into practice. Maybe I see something on social media and then I adapt it and then try and recreate it. You understand? So that is why I need to do passion projects. So ask yourself, what is the purpose for the thing you want to do? Because where there's purpose, there could be discipline. And where there's purpose, there's a reason to keep you going. But if you don't have a why, you just be doing. You understand? And then also another thing is that a lot of us don't set realistic goals. It's too important. Let me use myself as an example. Last year, I started reading. I picked up a habit of reading. And I've been reading for some time now. Now, if let's say I read like an average, or last year I was reading like an average of 10 pages a day, right? And then I get up all of a sudden and say that, oh, maybe I watched a YouTube video or something on Instagram, and then the person was saying that, oh, they read 6 books a week. I'm like, oh my God, this is nice. This could be my new year. So means I have to read 1 book every day. Charlie, it is just a matter of time. By second week to tear my eye. I believe so much that your New Year resolution should not be some all new thing that you are trying to start. Of course, there are times you could start something new. If you have purpose for it and all that, it will work out. Do you understand? But then when I say that it should not be something you are starting all new, there are some habits you were having last year or the previous years. There's some good things you started doing the previous years that you have left. For example, me, if let's say in the previous year, like I said, I was reading books, and then this time I'm like, I'll be doing something that I don't have any bearing with. I have not learned anything about it. I have not got any information about it. I don't even know the how to it, and I just say I'll start doing it this year. No, there's some things that if you want to start doing, you must have had some foundation to it. For example, let's say I want to do Forex this year. I've not learned anything about Forex. I've not even watched one video about Forex. It's not even a thing that interests me right now. And then I say I want to do Forex this year. I'll be doing Forex this year, and I'll be Charlie. I will not be able to do it because it has no bearing. It has no foundation. It's not something that I have started or have any like ground on. Do you understand? So sometimes our New Year resolutions too are based on no foundations, and because there's nothing to build on, it just crashes. So we have to have New Year resolutions that have foundations. So look at some of the things that you were doing last year and then see, okay, maybe I was reading, I was watching YouTube videos. So okay, I was doing 10 pages a day. This time I'll do 30 or I'll do 20. Have foundation. Don't just come and start something that you have no information on. And if it's something that you want to do that you don't have any information on, or you don't have any foundation on, let one of your New Year resolutions be building foundation in that thing. Do you understand? So like I use Forex. If I want to do Forex this year, what will I say? That I'm not going to do Forex this year. I'm going to dedicate my time to learn Forex this year. Do you understand? Another thing too is that we are not understanding the fact that it comes with time. Now in Vusi Thembakwayo's audio, he mentioned something that a lot of us hit the gym with motivation, forgetting that these people that we are looking at, that we want to be like, the shape of the person, the body you are looking at, that you're like, oh, these are my body goals. This person has probably been doing this thing for years. Now you do this thing for a week, 2 weeks, and you're not seeing anything, and you stop because you don't understand that some things are time bound. Some things are supposed to be according to time. You know, Rome, they say, was not built in a day. So then if Rome was not built in a day, how do you think you can be built in a day? You have to understand that it is about time. you have to give yourself time, because always understand it's a process, and the people that are looking up to, they took time to get there. They didn't just get there, they didn't happen to get there. Do you understand? So then one thing we need to really see with regards to our new resolutions is that we have to give ourselves time. Give yourself the grace to be able to go through it. Now, another thing too is that we most of the times don't have a plan. By now, you should have planned your year. But even if you have not planned your year, it's not too late. We are still in the first week of January. I don't know when you listen to this, but this is going to be released in the first week of January. And see, even in April, it's still not too late. You understand? You can still plan the year. First quarter, let's just say use first quarter to dash. The rest of the quarters left, plan the year. You understand? Plan the year. Let's go. I'm trying not to talk, and maybe I might not talk again. But then the most important thing is that I hope you are getting the message, and then we are hitting it right. Plan. You need to plan the year and have a plan. Like, have a plan for your resolutions. So, for example, let me use one very common one that everybody has: to go to the gym. What is the plan that you have for the gym? What times would you go to the gym? How long will you stay in the gym? What would you wear to the gym? How do you intend to approach the gym? Is there anybody that you want to help you in the gym? Plan all these things out. Okay, so maybe when you look at your schedule, of course you should know your schedule, because a lot of the times, like Vusi said, life happens. Me, one thing I've learned is that when I'm planning my day, or I'm planning my year or my month or something, I look at how my life is right now, my free times and all that. Sometimes I record my podcast late in the night because that's the time that you can get to record. Do you understand? Because we look at my life, that's the time that you can have the place to be quiet, kakra, So look at your life and then draw a plan that fits your life. Don't use somebody's plan to do your plan, because their lives are different. What they do in a day is not what you do in a day. What they meet in a day is not what you meet in a day. Some people are there, they're in control of their time, full control of their time. Maybe you are not in full control of your time because you're in your parents' house or something. So look at all these things, measure your chores, all those things. If you're in school, your classes, all those things, measure all these things, and then now derive your free times that you can dedicate to these things. So maybe, if you look through your calendar or through your schedule every day, maybe you are in class or you are in school, maybe you are free from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. So maybe you go to the gym at 4 p.m. and you want to be there for an hour. When you are there, maybe you are even planning, okay, so when I start, I want to work on maybe my biceps. I don't really know about gym stuff, right? Or fitness, all those things, but I want to work on my biceps. You have to even do some research. What do you start with? Okay, maybe you start with some stomach exercise or something, so maybe I'll do maybe 5 push-ups every day. So you see, realistic goals that have been planned out. So when you hit the gym, you're not now trying to do anything. You have a purpose. You have where you're going to. Okay, I'm in a gym today. I came at 4 p.m. I'm starting with 5 push-ups. From 5 push-ups, I'm going to lift my dumbbell 3 times. There's a plan to it. So you realize that it's like you have created a system. So the system is just working for you like that. That's how it works. Do you get it? So then have a plan for whatever you're trying to do. Have a mapped out, very detailed plan that suits and fits how you are and who you are. You understand? Yes. And then now, I think another thing that does not make us hit our New Year resolutions is the fact that sometimes we have a plan and all that, but then we are afraid to hit the New Year resolutions. Like, see, it's 2024. I have realized that one thing that robs us a lot, especially as young people, is the fear of making it. There's a mantra I started to work with last year, and it has really helped me. That do it and fail. But don't say, I might fail, so I'll not do it. Because there's a lot of times where you have something to do or you want to do something and you're like, this thing, if I do, will it work? Will it come out how I want to? No, I will do it and fail. And it also comes down to understanding that it's a process. If, let's say, for myself, I want to grow the podcast this year. My team and I want to grow the podcast this year. We will not start thinking it will just shoot like that. It's going to be a process. Maybe this episode I'm releasing that I think that this thing is so sensible, people should listen. Maybe only 5 people will listen. It's a process. You understand? Give yourself the grace. Understand how things work. Understand the principles of things. It's a process. Understand that it's a process and then move with it. And then don't harbor that fear that oh, it might not work. So no, give yourself the grace and do it. Go out and do it. So if it is a passion project you want to go and do it. If it is, let's say you want to record more songs this year, go and do it. And then now, even aside the fear, which I want to come back later, but let me just say this thing before it leaves my mind, that sometimes we are not committed to the thing. Now, you will not be committed to the thing when you don't have purpose and you don't have discipline and all that. But then this commitment is regards to like putting in yourself to it, forgetting about what you are feeling, which is discipline, and doing what you have to do, making your financial commitments to it. So for example, you say you want to record new songs this year, you don't really have a manager or something, and you're not also willing to save up money to record your songs. What are you doing? Babangida, what are you doing? Commitment. It will take commitment, financial commitments, your time. There are times you have to leave what you are doing to do what you need to do. Do you get it? And then comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone where you are always eating, you are always walking around, you are always talking, because all these things are very easy. They don't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything to go and sit with boys and talk, and all those things. So you don't have commitment to it. You are not also like getting out of your comfort zone to get the things done. Charlie, all these things are the reasons. They're not all. There might be some more, but then these are like some of the reasons I came across that makes us not able to like hit New Year resolutions. So then you have to make sure that this year you are taking these things one by one. So these are the things that most of the times get us not to do what you need to do. And it's funny how I've stated them and I've said what you can do. So I don't now need to come and say what you need to do, because what I've done is to state the problem and also state the solution or a possible solution to it. You understand? So then this year, make sure that for your New Year resolutions, and you see, if you are like me, who gave up on New Year resolutions, it's also a very, very dangerous thing to enter the year like that, because there's a quote that I really believe in, that you plan to fail when you fail to plan. So then this year that you are hoping that this year will be a good year for you, if you don't have any plan for the year, you plan to fail. It's like we give you a land and you don't plant anything. If you don't plant anything and you're expecting anything at all to grow, what will grow is weeds. Good things barely grow like that. Good things must be cultivated. The weeds that they don't come, you don't even need to invite them. So if you don't want weeds in your year, start planning things. What do you want to do? And use these things. Be disciplined. Be realistic. Have purpose. Have a plan. Don't be afraid. Don't be in your comfort zone. Be committed. Do you understand? All these things would help you to be able to be the kind of person you want to be this year. Because see, one thing that you need to understand is that you need to put in the work. The work must be done. If your new year would look anything good, you must put in the work to make it look good. Otherwise, it will not be any different from the past years. And I don't think that you want to come this far to be any difference. Me, I'm 21 years. At 21, I cannot be there and be just, all I'm doing is just living and I'm alive. And the only good thing about myself is I'm alive. No, I have to be living for something. I need to be building something. I need to build this podcast. I need to build my personal brand. I need to build my business. I need to, so that as the years are going, I'm knowing what I'm doing. 2023, I can say I started the podcast. We had quite a number of episodes. We got at least 80 people following us on Instagram. Quite a number of people also following us on TikTok. We got some listeners, over 200 listeners. That was a very good start for us. In 2024, the podcast grew. We got on YouTube. We started video podcasting. We were hitting these numbers. So yeah, I mean, 4 years. 4 months or 3 months down the line, we're actually on YouTube and we have video podcast. I'm so proud of myself. Dang. Let's continue. As the years are going, you are counting things. But if you don't have any plan, you don't have anything you're working towards, you are just waiting for life to happen. Charlie. Let's be realistic, man. So yes, I'm just hoping that after listening to these things, you would never again have to, go back on your New Year resolutions. And if you have not drawn realistic New Year resolutions, this is the time to go back and look at it. It's not bad to revise. It's still the first week of January, or we are still in January at least. So one thing I really recommend is that you can have a grand plan. This year, this is what you want to do. This is what you want to achieve. And write it down. this thing, you can't, your mind then, if you want to keep things in your mind, imagine the number of thoughts that run through your mind every day. It just might not stay. So write your plans down, write your visions down, write your goals down. I recommend writing pen to paper. I don't know, but there's something powerful about that. If writing it in your notes work for you, that's fine. I barely open my notes sometimes, so I don't trust that. So write pen to paper, the things you want to do, maybe the whole year, right? Then now break it down to the things you can do in January. And when you are broken down to the things you can do in January, break it down to the things you can do in maybe the first week of January, maybe the second week of January. Then we can break it down to the first day of January, the second day of January. What do you want to do? So, or maybe, so the podcast, for example, this year, I've already sorted out what I need in January for every week of January. We have drawn a plan and all those things, you know. And maybe this day we are doing this day we are doing that, today we are recording. By 2 days after that, we should have been done editing. On Friday, we are posting. You understand? So have a plan for every day and take it as, because a lot of the times when you decide to approach the year in bulk, you don't live the year. Do you understand? What you are is day from day to week to month to year. So if you are skipping the steps to do the year, you might not do it. So then take it day by day. So what am I doing today? So you have like daily things that, because it's always little drops of water make a mighty ocean. A mighty ocean does not just form unless God is the one who created it. But then if you are to do your own mighty ocean, it will take time. It's like building. You start from foundation and you do the ground floor. You arrange the blocks one block on another, so, and then it forms the house. You don't just carry the house and kind of put it there. You get it? So take it one by one, take it day by day and do it, you know. And then I really believe that if you do this and you give yourself the grace, understand that it's, because it's so important, because you can do all these things. One thing that I realize with people is that they start something, they don't get what they expect. Don't be having magical expectations that you start. Let's say one of your goals, I know somebody's listening to me, one of your goals is to start a YouTube channel, and you're expecting that by the time it's February or March, your YouTube channel should have got 1,000 subscribers. How many videos would have done by March? You know, I saw a quote that makes so much sense to me in this thing. It says that the person who loves the journey will go far compared to the one who loves the destination. Because if you are all engrossed in, oh, I want to have 1,000 subscribers, you might not get there. Because when you're not getting, you'll be frustrated. But then when you love the journey, what's the journey to getting 1,000 subscribers? Shooting your content, editing it well, having hooks in your first 5 seconds of your video, nailing your thumbnails, you know, making good titles, making good use of tags, hashtags, making good use of the knowledge that comes with YouTube, you know, understanding the principles that work with YouTube, what gives you click-through rates, what increases your RPM, all those things about YouTube, you learn them, you understand, and then you just be in the journey and be going like that in the journey. Don't be there and then you are just, I want to do this, I want to get this, but then you're not actually falling in love with the journey. You know, give yourself grace, because I tell you, when you're starting something new, you fall down so many times and you get up. Listen to all these things, put them into practice, because if you have listened to this and you don't put it into practice, it's better you didn't listen to it. So put them into practice and then see how you can get everything done with, you know. I really believe in you, and I believe that you can make this year one of the best years yet for you. And if you're going to make this year one of the best years yet for you, you will need to put in the work. I believe that this episode has been inspiring. Listening to it myself, I'm inspired, and I really hope that you feel inspired to listening to this. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. My name has always been and will always be Caleb. Wow. I think I'm actually a very wise boy, like a very, very wise boy. This has been amazing. I mean, listening to this again, I'm very inspired, right? And I hope you're inspired too. I mean, this is the beginning of the second quarter of the year. It's also another beginning, and you know, I feel like resolutions should not be limited to just the beginning of the year. Like I said, you should plan your January, have a detailed plan of the week, you understand? So maybe you have not been able to achieve much in the first quarter. I mean, try to do well to achieve much in this second quarter, you understand? And then these things that you have heard today, I mean, they are enough for you to move, you know. I don't have to go over it again because I think a lot have been said. You could always go back to listen to our audio episodes on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify by simply searching Creativation Podcast. I like to listen to audio podcasts because I like to go for walks a lot, and mostly while I'm going for my walks, I'm listening to the podcast. You could do the same. You could listen to podcasts while you are doing your chores, while you are doing every other thing. All right. So thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and thank you so much for watching today's episode. I believe that you are full. I'm so full. My name is Caleb Akotobanfo. This is the Creativation Podcast. Let me know if you like this style or you just want me to play a small part, because I was thinking of that. I don't want it to be too long. But then again, I want to just face the head because the podcast is going to be long anyways. So thank you so much. I love you so much. See you in the next episode next week, Friday. Mwah.